Roses laid together for a people brutally dispersed. Prayers from ancient Christianity commemorate the massive loss of life.
The Armenian genocide was the destruction of the Armenian people, which was a minority within the Ottoman Empire.
In 1915, the Ottoman Empire, in what is now modern-day Turkey, began persecuting some of its own people, Armenians. They were believed to be a threat to the government's goal of a modern, unified Turkey.
The main problem was difference within the empire, and it had to get rid of difference.
Elisa von Uden-Forgy, co-founder of the Lemkin Institute for Genocide Prevention, says the Holocaust provides a reference point. Just as Nazi Germany saw Jews as a threat to power,
so too the Ottoman state began to develop this idea of the Armenians as an untrustworthy, treasonous group at the heart of the empire.
What followed included forced marches, starvation, rape, and murder. Estimates conclude around 1.5 million Armenians were killed. And this week marks 108 years since the genocide began. Helping lead the commemoration at the Embassy of Armenia in Washington, D.C., Armenian Orthodox Archbishop Viken Akazian, who had a warning.
Be careful. The same thing could happen anywhere in any part of the world unless you prevent the genocide.
Prevention can be challenging when some won't even admit it happened. This anniversary marks another year gone by without the Turkish government acknowledging the Armenian genocide. Throughout the years, it has maintained a crime was not carried out by former officials.
We don't hate the Turks, but we want them to acknowledge a reality.
And the U.S. just caught up, for years not recognizing it as genocide, the deliberate destruction of a particular group. There was fear of injuring diplomatic relations with Turkey. Last year, President Joe Biden became the first president in U.S. history to formally define it, writing in a statement, "The Armenian genocide, one of the worst mass atrocities of the 20th century." David Mandel Anthony, a U.S. State Department official in the Office of Global Criminal Justice, shared more.
It was very important to us as the U.S. government to ensure that we applied sort of the proper gravity.
Dr. von Uden-Forgy says recognition of the crime is significant. It's also important to recognize the specific reasons it was carried out.
The genocide destroyed not only lives, but tried to abolish the very identity of a minority people. For Armenians, their Christian faith was central to that identity.
It wasn't just ethnic cleansing, it was a persecution of Christians. Going all the way back to the start of the 4th century, Armenia was the first nation to adopt Christianity as its official religion. And in modern-day Armenia, a territory established after the genocide to the east of Turkey and west of Azerbaijan, the majority of citizens remain Christian.
Modern thinkers and modern political movements
With a background in political philosophy, Nathan Pinkowski, the director of academic affairs with the Zephyr Institute, has studied how and why political ideas are put into action. Looking at the historically Muslim Ottoman Empire, by 1915, Pinkowski sees a government with a more modern, secular society in mind for its future. Standing in opposition, Armenians, people defined by their ancient Christian faith.
people defined by a particular religion, and that religious people being destroyed. And I think this is a more accurate way to characterize what happened in the Armenian case.
Pinkowski believes it's important to acknowledge faith as central to identity, especially as we look at foreign affairs.
It's already the case within our foreign policy elite that they tend not to think of the world in terms that are attentive to these theological issues.
For his part, U.S. State Department official David Mandel Anthony says he's not attempting to remove faith-based identity from the understanding of any society.
In fact, understanding the role of faith and the role of religion in a society is indispensable to understanding conflicts and to the harm that is often suffered by civilians.
Which leads us to the present day. Archbishop Akazian and Dr. von Uden-Forgy are both expressing concern about recent escalations over a disputed territory between Armenia and Azerbaijan. They believe threats from Azerbaijan, backed by Turkey, could lead to another genocide of Armenians.
What is lacking currently is the international community speaking with one voice to Turkey and Azerbaijan and making it clear that genocide will not be tolerated and that these threats need to stop.
Mark Irons, EWTN News in Depth.